Why is there 4? Oh, there you go. Shit. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You know what? As soon as I pushed live, I had like 4 like little boxes. I can't read if that's there it is. Boop. All right. 4 little boxes pop up like right away. Like it knew. Like I know what you're doing. I think it actually worked the first time.
Well, yeah. But you know what? I waited, like, when I saw you pop on, I gave it like 15 seconds. Then I saw that and I hit it really quick. So I think it's about timing that makes it weird.
All about that timing.
Yeah.
Are you with us, buddy?
I am here.
Well, we have Dave Campbell on Joe Campbell. Wow, when did get? You know what, buddy? I've had a day. It's been a day and a half, and I apologize for that. My brain is not working. Apparently, I don't know why I wrote down Dave Campbell. That's where my brain is.
Yeah, because you know it's not Dave Campbell.
No,
Joe, can you turn on your? There you go. There you are. There's your face.
Sorry about that. First time doing a TikTok live thing. I don't know. I still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we are too. We've been doing this since January.
Yeah. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I bet I'm better off on I guess Facebook.
Yeah, we are trying to get this, just get a different audience than who we have on our regular show. So we figured we'd try out doing some TikTok lives and try to just kind of see if we can get like different people to check out the show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and give more people an opportunity to come on and talk about their paranormal experiences, which is what we like to hear about. We'd like to talk to everyone about how they got started and some of their favorite paranormal experiences,
Oh, absolutely.
So, anyways, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Not too bad. Hung out with the wife today. We're taking a trip to Cincinnati tomorrow, and
nice.
Spending the day there Friday and Saturday, and coming home Saturday, actually. So, yeah.
I went to a
mini getaway.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I went to a wedding in Cincinnati long time ago, and we had one of the parts of the wedding. I guess one of the part of the weekend is they rented a big boat and they went down the Ohio River.
Okay.
We got to go past the Cincinnati Red Stadium and the river, where Bengals play and everything. And we were told that Jimmy Buffett had his boat up there, and there was some guy sitting on the boat, and we were convinced that it was Jimmy Buffett. So we were all like, Jimmy, oh my God. And it wasn't Jimmy. It was not Jimmy Buffett. So
watch the boat.
Yes, the guys looking at us like waving us like, hey, like, who are you people? Yeah. But it's really pretty city. You're gonna have fun up there.
Yeah, I've been there many times. I mean, been to Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, New York. Been to a lot of places.
What's your favorite place to go paranormal wise?
Oh, well, I've investigated the Gill House in Galion, Ohio for like 11 years. That place is always going to be like true to my heart. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I've done a lot of research in that place, and I just got done doing an article for Strange Knocks magazine about the place and some of the experiences there. But my favorite place that I've investigated was probably Franklin Castle in Cleveland, Ohio.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Franklin Castle. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, look it up. It's a beautiful place and very active, very active. And when I investigated it, I was the first person to go in there after Nick and what's her name?
Katrina?
Nick and Katrina. Yeah. And so they shut it down for like 3 years, 4 years or something. And then I got the opportunity to investigate it again. So I was really stoked about that. So we went in there and it was nonstop from the beginning to the end. That place was on fire.
I think anytime you add the word castle to the end of a structure in America or anywhere, it's got to be haunted.
Yeah, they say the whole neighborhood's that way too. I don't know how true that is, but when we pulled up in front of the place, the house, there was an old black man standing out in front of the house saying Bible verses on the sidewalk. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
So it was an actual person, not a ghost.
No, it was an actual person.
Hey, Luna, thank you.
Good. The caretaker came out and he told me, "Hey, ignore him. Just come on in."
if you're looking for a good advertisement for a haunted location, having an old black man yelling Bible curses verses at it, I think that's a pretty good, indication that it might be haunted.
Yeah, and Cleveland's probably not the best area to live in, or I'm good. I'm not going anywhere near there. I'm good. But it was a very, very interesting night. The minute I opened the door, I literally turned around and told everybody, "We're not investigating by ourselves tonight."
You could feel it.
It was just like the hamster in your head like running really fast, going, "Hey, you got to let these guys know we're not. Do not separate because there's something going on in here." So
the Bible verses didn't work.
Yeah. So we were in there for a while, and we were sitting in the living room. And the place it's a beautiful place. And it was under construction. It used to be the Tiedemann family owned it back in the early 1900s. I did an article on that also in Strange Knox magazine about my experience in there. But they owned it back a long time ago. He was a wealthy banker in Cleveland, and everybody said he had like dead bodies in there and so forth and so forth. That's not even the truth. I mean, that's, of course, you're going to get all kinds of clicks and people want to jump in there when they read stuff like that, and that's not even the truth. But he had children that lived there also. And they say that he killed his children and stuff like that, which is just, it's all a lie. It was just all fabricated over the internet, or somebody wrote an article about it and made it bigger than what it was. But the reason why it's so active, I couldn't tell you why it's so active. The time when we were literally sitting in the living room, and we were watching dark shadows walking past us.
Wow.
Like black masses walking past us. I'm like, what is going on? It came to my mind that they were hunting us. We weren't hunting them. So the whole night was very interesting. Stuff being thrown in other rooms that you don't see. Just old time music playing on the third floor when nobody's up there. So you go to the third floor and it stops. it was crazy. But yeah.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like you had all of like every paranormal experience you could have all in one night.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it was very interesting. I mean, I've already been doing it for a while. I've been to a lot of places, and then all of a sudden you witness that. To be a smart, smart investigator, you got to keep yourself grounded. You have to, and not start chasing stuff. And you get what you get, and you leave. You don't try to take anything home with you.
That's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
So
luckily, I didn't have it. Luckily, I didn't have anything taken. Luckily, I haven't had anything follow me home from there. But I did have an investigator. Something did follow him home from the castle. And I had an investigator quit that night. She said she will never investigate again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if the lore about the location isn't accurate, did you get anything in the investigation to tell you what is going on there, or why they're so active, or why they're hunting us, if you will?
Well, for some reason, because they had some nasty stuff in there, that's for sure. Because it was like trying to lure us to different parts of the house through I got an Ovilus 5, and I had it on phonic mode. When I had it on phonic mode, the phonic mode was talking to us, and it was telling us to come upstairs. So one of my investigators ran upstairs, and so after he went up the stairs, it's like, go downstairs, and he would run downstairs like, hey, you need to stop.
So it's playing with you.
Yeah, it was trying to, show its dominance in the house, you know what I mean? And it's, you got to be really, careful when you can't be chasing stuff. And I told him, I said, don't be chasing anything. I don't know what you're doing, but stop chasing it. And so, yeah, it was very interesting. I couldn't tell you, but I couldn't tell you why it was so active. All I know is I heard the whole neighborhood is, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the land itself, or something happened in the past where that whole neighborhood ended up just being like that. So I don't think it was the house in general. The thing is, we could go in there and investigate the house. Of course, we're not going to be able to go into neighbors' homes and investigate. We would have probably got almost damn near the same thing.
Yeah.
That's weird how the whole neighborhood is like that, and there's nothing. I mean, unless there was I was thinking Civil War maybe, but it's Ohio. I'm not sure how much Civil War action took place up there.
Yeah, especially
Native
that
American,
far north.
maybe.
Yeah, especially that far north. I don't know. Yeah, it's really strange.
It's strange when you go to a house that has, you without having like super dark history, assuming there are no, like, the guy didn't actually have bodies in there or kill his children. Go into a place like that where you don't really know the history, but you still get a bunch of dark stuff. You're wondering where that dark energy, came from. Like, what causes something like that to stick around or appear even at a location like that? Like, what brought it in?
Yeah, I mean, look at Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio is like a really stressed out city. I mean, there's nothing good that really comes out of Cleveland, Ohio, right? I mean, as far as I know. I mean, I'm not
going to argue with her on that one.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it's the atmosphere or what. Who really knows why? But what they were saying, what the information I got, it's the whole neighborhood. It's just not Franklin Castle. I mean, I think a year or two later, I guess Ghost Adventures went there and talked to my friend. He was the caretaker out there at the time, Bill. He they had him on the TV, and they tried to make it out like he was possessed, and it was ridiculous. I don't watch these shows, but I watched that episode one is because I wanted to see what they get compared to what I got. You know, Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to take pictures. We weren't allowed to film anything. We were guinea pigs to see if paranormal investigators could come back and investigate again. So that's what we were.
You went to this place, Freakin Castle, and you weren't allowed to take pictures or film anything. That kind of sucks.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
It does suck, but it was worth it because you never know. It could end up being another paranormal hotspot where you can do that. So, my whole experience was I got to go investigate it. That's why I'm in this field. It's not about getting clicks or anything like that. It was the whole point of going out there investigating to see what we can get.
Yeah.
In Franklin Castle. That's one of my bucket list investigations throughout the years is going to Franklin Castle and investigate, and they always told us no. So we got to go.
So did you ever get to go back to Franklin Castle?
Yeah, I went back like one time after that, and everything was like calmed down. It was like really strange. It was like really calm the second time. I don't know why, but we didn't get as much as we did the first time when we went in there and stuff was happening. It was just like nonstop all night long.
Could you record like with a recorder? Take a recorder in there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
digital voice recording.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's good. Did you get any good EVPs from there? Like
we got some good EVPs. We were on the third floor, and we heard stuff. We heard either it was the music playing or we heard stuff getting thrown on the third floor. And as we were leaving to walk down back to the second floor, you can hear somebody laughing, like one of those old cartoon villain people going, ha, 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 ha. I was like, what is that? Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Got a EVP that said, do you have a Peter Pie? That was in the basement, where everything was burned up because the place caught on fire at one point. And they're trying to fix the place up. And I think we were like, I put a recorder in the laundry room or something like that. And you hear a man go, do you have a Peter Pie?
What's a Peter Pie?
Yeah. You know what? I looked it up and I couldn't figure out what it was. I don't know if it was like a nursery rhyme or
it is
what.
An old nursery rhyme.
Maybe.
I thought maybe it was you know how they have like moon pies or like something that was like like a candy or treat that nobody eats anymore, like a Mary Jane or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it just was popular in the 1800s but kind of disappeared.
Yeah. I was like, it was really strange. I looked it up. I'm like, well, maybe it's a saying or it's a nursery rhyme or something like that or whatever. So I typed it in. What does it mean? And what I found was not good.
Was it like an urban dictionary type thing where it's kind of gross?
No, it was like a porno thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
So I like immediately left and I'm like, I don't understand what I just got. I don't get it. It was kind of crazy.
Well,
You're the
apparently-
first person I've ever heard of say they got something that sounded like a cartoon, because me and two of the investigators on my team, we've gotten that. We were at the end of a hallway, and I swear to God, it sounded just like it came off Scooby-Doo. It was like, woo! And it was like,
yeah, it's crazy.
We've all looked at each other like, did you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, the laugh was like, you know, some guy curling up his mustache going, that's what it sounded like.
I wonder if ghosts have a sense of humor where they're like, we're going to fuck with them. I'm just going to laugh like villain or go, woo!
Right, exactly what it was. I was like, oh shit. I was like, you know, I was like, that's nuts. Then later on that night, it sounded like there was fireworks going off. And I was like, this is in the house. And everybody's like, no, it's got to be outside. I was like, no, it sounds like it's in the house. So someone went outside and said, there's nothing going on outside, because you have the baseball stadium not too far from the castle. And we were standing, like the house came alive. It was like the whole house shook. And it was like firecrackers going off in the house.
You know what this reminds me of? You ever see that Walt Disney short, Lonesome Ghosts, where like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy go into this haunted house, and the ghosts are all like really just messing with them the whole time. And
that's classic.
It sounds like they're just, the ghosts are like, oh, we have new people in here. It's been a while since we've had company. We're going to show them a time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly how it was. That's you know, this is our place. I don't know why you're here, but
we're gonna pick on you.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, they're thinking you're gonna have problems tonight. You know, that's what happened. So we left early in the morning, daylight, and I left there. I when I walked out of there, I just like shook my head, like, oh my God. I was like, holy cow. That was the best investigation I ever been on. It was just like nonstop all the time. It didn't matter because it had room after room after room. So if something got thrown, you couldn't really figure out what room it was. And of course, you're looking around for rats and different stuff like that, like paranormal investigators do. But we couldn't figure out what was thrown on the floor and wasn't thrown on the floor. And we didn't see any animals in there or rodents or anything. It was crazy.
So were people like living there? Or was it like a tourist site, or just living there abandoned, empty?
Well, at one time it was abandoned. They didn't have any windows at all in the place. You could look up online and actually see like the old pictures of when it was abandoned. And they would have like the plywood up there. It's like darkened out, like, black, painted plywood. And they put it where the windows were, different stuff like that. People broke in and took videos of the place where it was just a mess and decaying or whatever. And then I can't remember the owners' names, but they bought the place and said, we're going to redo the whole house, and we don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're going to rebuild the whole thing. A bunch of rich people that had a bunch of money, and they didn't know what to do with it. So they basically told the caretaker, we want these people to investigate to see if we can have investigators come back. Of course, it's a money grab. It's just like any other place. If you can make a place, adaptable for investigators to come in, you're going to charge them.
Yeah.
You can't. Well, with upkeep and everything, and
sure.
like going from dealing with the cabin, it takes a lot of money to run paranormal location. And so is it working? Have they opened it up to people to investigate, or is it still kind of in the planning phase?
Yes and no. They refurbished the whole place, and you can investigate it. They turn it into a bed and breakfast.
Okay.
They turn it into a bed and breakfast, but from what I got from it is you can actually go in and investigate the place. I'm sure there's probably stipulations of where you can go when you're in there because we went in damn near every room. It was pretty awesome.
Wow, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it was a good time. It really was.
My dog's like giving her tug of war toy, like while I'm doing this. So go away. Oh, so yeah. I mean, I'm guessing if it's a bed and breakfast, you know, other people staying there, it'd be kind of hard to investigate it like that.
Yeah.
You know.
So I guess there's limits where you can go into the house and investigate. I would guess. So
unless your whole team goes and gets a room.
There we
That's
go.
Right.
Rent the whole place
rent
out.
the whole place out. Yeah, rent the whole place out.
Yep.
So how did you get into the paranormal? Like what started this journey?
Well, I was always interested in it. Of course, I used to sit there and watch the old ghost hunter shows back in the day. With Jason and Grant, and I'm like, I wonder if that stuff's true. I said, but that's not. I said, that can't be for real, And so,
famous last words.
Yeah, and so I watch it and stuff like that, and me and my wife started dating, and I told her, I said, I want to at least try this one time. I want to go somewhere where I can, see if I could get something. I don't know how true these shows are. And because I'm not big on watching television, but if something catches my eye, I'll watch it. And definitely their show back in the day definitely did. It'd be on for a half an hour, 15 minutes. I forget what it was. And so she bought me a kit, it was like a little suitcase kind of thing with different stuff in it. And I think a year later, a guy that lived across the street from us was like, hey, I'm in a paranormal group. We should, if you want to come along, come along. I was like, chill, okay. So that's the first time I went to the Gill House in Galion, Ohio. And I got my first EVP. And after that, I was hooked. Completely hooked. And all of a sudden, I wanted to know as much as I can get from the paranormal field. Luckily, I did. I was smarter and wiser and talked to the old investigators and different stuff like that, So that's what got me hooked. Pretty much I hit the road for I don't know how long, forever and ever and ever. And, it came to a point where my wife was like, hey, I'm here too. So I kind of it was like almost every weekend I was gone,
Yeah.
Pack the car up, man. I'm gone somewhere. It was crazy. It was a good time. But always to keep a family, you gotta sacrifice some stuff for a while. But
moderation.
Then it became once a month, and then it's so it's like once every 2 months, something like that now. So
what was going through your head when you got that first EVP? Like when you realized, hey, this is actually real.
Well, the thing that kind of got me was there's an old dictaphone recorder.
Mm-hmm.
Those little dictaphone recorders. It's like little. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I actually really got anything. I mean, it's just a little old digital voice recorder. but I ran it through Audacity and I listened to it like 9 million times, and it was somebody talking to me, and I was in a dining room by myself. It was crazy, and I was just hooked. I was like really excited about it, man. I mean, it's it's one of those feelings that it's like how we how we see the paranormal, and how, like, I don't want to say normal life, but other people that don't know the field all that well see it,
Yeah.
because we know what we can get, we know what we can do, and people on the other side of the spectrum, they just they take it or they leave it. It's so, but it aroused my suspicion and my everything. It was, and I just jumped on it. I started my own team, Newark Paranormal Society. I don't know how to. I'm not good at working Facebook or anything. I was like, I asked my wife. I was like, "Hey, could you make his page for me?" I woke her up in the middle of the night.
Wake up! Wake up!
I know, I'm an idiot.
Make his page for me right now.
Right. Yeah. So
I bet you love
that. No, she was not happy about that, but she did start a page for me, and she's like, "What kind of logo do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So we were looking around, and we picked a logo and a name, and put it up there. And then my partner now, Bill Squire, is Ryan. You met Bill on the last podcast. Him and my wife sat down and actually like restructured the logo and made it different, made it look really good and a lot better than what I could have, and did 100 times better. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm kind of like illiterate when it comes to, I'm learning as I go with, computer stuff and, cell phone stuff. That's just like when I asked, Ryan, I was like, how do I get onto the podcast? I've never done TikTok podcasts. I don't,
I'm glad it worked. Because if it hadn't worked, I'd have been like, I have no idea what to do.
Yep.
So
sometimes we're scrambling a little bit, so I'm glad it worked this time.
Yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. I jumped in the chat like you told me to, and I got in there.
The best part about what you're talking about when you got that EVP is that feeling. Veronica can vouch. That feeling never goes away. Like every time I get EVP, it's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever.
It still gets to me. It's like I go out on Investigate, and I sit there in my studio, and I could be listening for 5 hours or 6 hours or whatever, and you get that EVP that's just like, holy shit. But you always have that excitement when it comes to getting really good evidence like that, a really good EVP. And especially if you know how to use Audacity. If you know how to use Audacity, you're gold, man, because it's, unfortunately, those digital voice recorders, a lot of them have the background noise to where the recorders are running, and you're trying to cut out the background noise to pull out that EVP. And then, you really have to, man, sometimes it's tough.
Yeah, I usually get my EVPs like at 11 o'clock or late at night, so I can't message anybody. I'm like, oh my God, get the greatest EVP ever. And then it's like nobody's awake. I'm like, crap, I got to wait till tomorrow morning to talk to them about it.
But
so I feel like I'm talking too much. Rhonda.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say, like, EVPs to me still are like the best. But what got me hooked was when the location that my team is kind of the host team for, Belgrove Plantation, before I even joined a team, before I did anything, they had just a couple of people that worked there, and they were trying to start the paranormal stuff there. And like when I say they had like a ghost box, a couple of flashlights, and a K2 meter, that was it. And so they had no, idea what we were doing. And we were actually sitting in one of the upstairs bedrooms, and there was a little stool sitting there, and we'd been getting flashlight activity. And I'm sitting there, and there's nobody near me, nobody's moving. And they had sat a flashlight on a little bitty wooden stool like you would use to get up in a high bed, and it was sitting right beside me, and I watched it start rolling and stop.
Yeah.
And rolling. I was like, that was like, I was like nobody's doing that. Like, how is that happening? So that was what kind of got me like, okay, I've got to do more with this, because that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I go into an investigation, a camera and a digital voice recorder, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And by yourself, I mean, that's old school way of investigating. Unless, of course, you have a tape recorder. You get one of those old school tape recorders and try to get stuff on a magnetized, tape cassette.
That's old school.
Yeah, that is old school. Yeah. And I wish I could find one. I try it. I really would. They're hard to find anymore. But yeah, that would be really cool I'd try it.
I had one. I got one at like an antique store or whatever, and I played it, and I played it back, and it was just the sound. It was too much other noise. I guess the recorder wasn't great, so it made like a grinding noise every time I tried playing the tape back.
Yeah.
So I mean, I made the attempt to do it, but it didn't work out quite the way I wanted to. I got picked up a video camera with the tapes. I was wondering maybe that would work. See if you catch anything using an actual video camera.
I know. Okay, I got a camera at home which I use. I have to get a new card for it, but it's a zoom camera. I got a zoom camera at home, and we were at this place. I forget what was the Gamble House back in the day, about like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And this guy invited stuff in that, like, people, it didn't like women that was in his house. He claimed to have succubuses and a Lilith in his house and different stuff like that. So we went in there and investigated it, and he had a game to play. And he hit a key with a coin in a fireplace, the tile. And the only way to figure out where this key and coin was in the house is you put your Oculus 5 on the table, and the spirits were going to give you clues. And it did.
Wow.
It gave us all kinds of clues where this key and this coin was, but at the same time, we had equipment like the millimeter went off in the kitchen on its own. Different parts of the house, like a REM pod went off over here, or a REM pod. So it was directing you towards different ways to get you away from that fireplace.
Wow.
This went on. It was crazy. So my partner Bill, he found the key because it said fire, and then it said tile, and then he figured it out that there was some place on around this fireplace that there was a key and a coin in it. So he walked around, looked at it, found a tile that was loose, opened it up. There was a key and a coin in it.
Sounds like a paranormal escape room or something.
Yeah, like a paranormal escape room. That's crazy.
It was crazy. And so I had my camera sitting on the floor, and I was recording. And over my camera, because it has a very sensitive recorder on it. And all of a sudden you can hear a woman go, "My daughter's sexy."
Oh, okay.
I was like,
Thanks for the information.
So what we were thinking is the Lilith or whatever was trying to entice us to, to fall in love with. I forget what he named the girl, the other one, but the other sucker, like her daughter, when she wanted us to be with her daughter. That was never going to happen, of course. But the thing is it didn't like women in the house, because we talked to people before, and the women said, I got followed home from this place, and this place does not like women. And so I asked the guy, I said, hey, do you have a garage? He's like, yeah, I got a garage. I said, can we have our home base set up in the garage? So the women can come and go as they please instead of being stashed up in the house the whole night. So, you want to keep them safe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they came and went as much as possible, and they didn't stay in there as long as possible either. So they never got followed home. Nothing ever happened. So, it was a good decision on my part to actually have the home base in his garage. That was behind the house, but his grandmother lived there. So it was crazy. I met her when I walked in, and she's like, there's nothing here. I was like, oh, okay. So she went up to bed. And yeah, it was kind of crazy that night. Like the REM pod going off on command, like sitting in the middle of the floor. You ask a question, and it'd go away. Then something happens in the kitchen, or my partner seen a shadow figure run up the stairs where Grandma was. It was crazy. It was.
I wonder if you have to be in a certain mindset or to experience things, or if she's just so set in her ways that she just doesn't notice stuff like that. Doesn't register with her that this stuff's going on, or she takes it as something completely innocuous, something like just it's a regular. Oh, it must be the wind or a rat, or
Yeah. Well, you remember the people, like the old people back in the days. I mean,
yeah,
they didn't believe in this stuff,
right?
They never,
they
never believed in the Yeah, I mean, the first ghost hunt, was Hans Holzer, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, he was the very first. I mean, he was the one that brought the paranormal into like a mainstream thing, to where people invited him to their house with the medium and with a microphone and an old tape recorder, and that's how it was back in the day, and people didn't believe it. I mean, if I was a kid and I told them I believe in ghosts or whatever, or I'd seen something, my parents would be like, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think it's just like where they were so adamant nothing was happened, so they try to explain it away. The more we investigate, the more we notice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think about like with my son RJ, and I think of like if I was his age and my dad investigated the ghost, investigated the paranormal, just what he thinks, and like now it's just natural for him. He knows that ghosts exist. I didn't. When I was growing up, ghosts scared the crap out of me. Honestly, I mean, I was freaked out over the paranormal. But now it's become such a common thing where people are talking about aliens on the news like all the time, and that was like X-Files shit. That people can talk about that. It was fringe. Ghosts were fringe. Like, remember ghost shows would come on in October, and that's it. That's when it came on, and you're done. Once October was out, it went back to normal television. And it's just so cool that we can talk about this stuff and talk about, the stuff that's happened to you with the succubus and the shadow figures in Franklin Castle. Like, it's like a normal everyday thing. I mean, it still blows my mind that we're having these conversations about dead people talking to us and like spirits and demons. Like, it's a everyday conversation at the office. I feel like part of me thinks I should be like freaking out more over it. It's like, but it's just become such a part of our lives now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it will be with us for the rest of our lives. I mean, it's never going to die. Yeah, right. I mean, it's never going to go away. I mean, there's never an answer to anything that, everybody could try to look for an answer. Why can we walk into a place in a specific room and sit there and ask questions, and then you pull an EVP out, somebody answers you, or you get something residual, like somebody talking to somebody else or something like that, or you get singing over your digital voice recorder, so it makes you think, like, it's always like, well, I think this, but you could be wrong too. So it's always like a roadblock right there, right? It's like you're never going to really ever find out where all this is in another dimension. Can they come from heaven and communicate with you, or are all spirits in limbo? I mean, who really knows?
Go to bed.
So it's the strangest thing ever, and it's the most fulfilling thing when you could get really good stuff and you can present it to people to see, regardless if they think it's real or not. I mean, all the stuff we get is 100% real, or we wouldn't put it out there. I'm not going to fake my shit just to put it on social media. That's stupid. I don't make millions of dollars. My YouTube sucks. And, I only have like 210 followers or whatever. I got 340 some videos on there. That's just to stash videos on. That's all it's for. If it blows up, it blows up. I'm not trying to, make $1 million off of it, but I want people to be educated and see what we do and how to investigate and not do it the wrong way. I mean, you got the like younger investigators these days. They gotta use their phone for investigating. That's shit. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, the only time I use my phone is to take pictures of the place.
And I mean, I have to you have to go against you on that, because I've used my phone as a recorder and it works great.
My phone, my recorder on my phone would suck. I mean, I guess I would have to download an app or something, and plus I don't know how to convert it to, something to where, like Audacity or anything. I don't know how to do all that stuff. But like, just a regular digital voice recorder, Olympus digital voice recorder, I could like stick it in my computer and it just like goes to Audacity and I could just run it, So I like it the pure way of investigating. I don't like the, I have an ink box. It looks like the Ghostbusters car that Austin Maynard up here in Ohio built for me. It's almost like a spirit box on steroids. It has volume. It's got reverb on it. It's got echo on it. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. I have gotten a lot of really good stuff from those from out of that box. And it's loud too. It's not, and you don't get the static you get over a SP7.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, it's really cool. So I got really good stuff. There's sometimes we'll turn it on and there's like nothing will come through, just garbage, and you're like, shut it off. Good. But there's other times, like we're at the Gill House, I actually got I think the third family that lived there I got their last name over my ink box that came out, and it said Hesby's. I had it on Echo, and it said it like 4 times.
That's not a common last name.
Really quick.
Right.
No. Yeah. So that was really good. And then we were down in West Virginia, and we were staying at it was a bed and breakfast down there that the mayor of Barboursville, West Virginia, wanted us to come down and investigate. We investigated it, and we actually sat this car on the floor, and we turned it on, and you can literally hear about doctors and Civil War and killings and stuff like that. This all came over the ink box in one night. It was like they were telling their whole story, and it was just crazy that night. So it was pretty cool.
Wow, that sounds like a very handy piece of equipment to have.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so, it was really good.
With everything going on with all the AI and all the stuff that's been happening with like all the technology and like TikTok, do you think it's easier to be a paranormal investigator now or harder?
Oh, it's a lot easier these days. I mean, you got all these, terrible investigators now. They're making all kinds of money.
I should say a good investigator, like as far as like getting evidence, putting it out there for people to see. And believe, because everything now it's just like it's tough. I think it's tougher because of just AI and putting evidence out there and people not believing it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder for people. It's just like, a lot of people want to see a ghost, or they want to see somebody get thrown up against a wall or something like that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm good, for one. I agree. It's a lot harder for pure investigators that actually find real evidence in a place like EVPs or stuff like that to actually, for people to look at and be like, I don't know what I'm listening to. Yeah. Well, of course, like us, our ears and our mind is trained of what we're listening to. I mean, you can explain to them till you're like blue in the face that, where you were, what you were doing at the time. Here's the camera footage of me asking a question. You don't hear it whatsoever, but over the digital voice recorder, the same questions, the same everything, and you get the response over digital voice recorder. That's the only best way I could figure out how to make that situation where people are like, oh shit. So this guy's sitting in a room recording what he was doing at the time and have a digital voice recorder sitting there recording, and he caught this on another device. And a lot of times, a lot of people, it just doesn't go through their head.
Is there anything more frustrating than when you catch a really good EVP, like you can hear it perfectly, and you play for somebody else and they can't hear it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't hear nothing. It's like,
what are you talking about? You just know, they're fucking with you. You're like, okay, seriously, you gotta hear it. It's right there. What are you doing?
It's like right there. Yeah, it's like it's right there. I mean, luckily I trained my mind and my ears and my thoughts of what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's like, so there's some sort of thing to where they have it's like, well, if you think they're going to say this, they're going to say this over digital voice recorder. I'm like, what?
No, I don't think that's. I think that's how it works.
I don't think that's. Because
Like
don't get me wrong,
projection type thing.
Yeah, it's like some sort of. Don't get me wrong. Okay, Brian Cano, one of my friends out there in New York, whatever. He came out here one time, tried to do that stuff. It just don't work like that, man. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? If I sit in a room and I start asking questions and I get a whole sentence of going, "How are you doing today, Joe?" Da da da. Not one time did I think about ever saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. So it's
because it
really
would catch
strange.
their attention. If I ask a question in my mind, I'm like, the answer is mustard. That's what he's going to say. And they said it, then I might go, huh, where did that come from?
Like thinking about a song.
Not how it's ever worked for me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
hoping to get any response, like shut up or something. I don't know.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I've even done the like silent thing, right? Where you sit there and let's say you ask questions in your own head, right? You ask questions in your own head, and you let the recorder run on its own. Yeah, it doesn't work like that either. So when you sit there and ask a question, when you sit there and ask a question, you wait 30 seconds and you go back and ask another question, and then with your mouth, and you go back and listen, you get something. You know, that's the best feeling ever. But you sit there and you start asking questions with your mind, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
I've already tried it.
I don't think ghosts are good mind readers.
I mean, it don't work out for me. Now, there's times where I have sat there and just kept quiet and record what's going on in a place. And they don't know you're there because they think everybody left. If you're the only one sitting there just being quiet, you can hear them talking every once in a while, and they're talking to themselves, like to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. It's like, oh, I think they left, or they went downstairs. Where'd they go?
So, they finally left. Thank God.
Yeah,
I thought they'd never leave.
Where'd they go? And I heard this over my recorder. I'm like, oh shit! And then all of a sudden, then I said something. He's over there.
Oh shit! He's still here. Oh man! Wow, we're getting close to the end, brother. I definitely appreciate you coming on and joining us tonight for a quick chat. We'll have to have you come back on the regular show where we can spend a little bit longer
Would love
chatting. As far as uploading, because I'd like to upload the show onto the Riff Nation, and we'll replay it on like Saturday night. But doesn't like us to upload anything more than an hour long.
Yep.
So that's why I have to cut it short so we can upload it.
Yes, sir.
On the regular channels this weekend. But definitely appreciate you coming on, joining us, and I definitely love to have you come back on the regular show. I know you work on Tuesday, so we'll have to figure something out. But maybe I'll have you back on here, and we'll just continue the conversation on TikTok.
I'm fine with it either way. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys asking me to come on, and I enjoy doing this podcast stuff and different things like that. It's a good time. It's
it's cool.
It is.
You never know where the conversation's going to lead to.
Never,
that's what I like about it.
I've been on a lot of podcasts. I mean, it's but this is the first TikTok podcast, so
we did great.
It's all good.
Nice.
You did great.
It worked out. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We will see you guys Tuesday night on the Freakin' Awesome Paranormal Show. You guys have a good night. Bye.
Whatever.